Hello everyone and welcome back to TYTO Ecology, and it is time to check in on how our biomes are doing, and I'm kind of nervous because it's been a few days since I have poked at them. So we're going to see how Fernville, Knot, Kansas, and Pyrite Canyon are doing. We might check in on all of them, and I have been thinking about maybe building a new biodome in the future. We're totally out of money to be able to do that, but in the future I would love to build a new biodome where we would be able to build just specific areas, like maybe an entire area just for wolves, and we could see what the max wolf population we could support is, or just for bison. So I think that would be really fun. We'll have to see if we can just add tons of things, or like how many plants can you have, and how many like pollinators do you need before a forest does anything. Like, can you just have a whole biome full of plants? Will it do anything? Is it just a greenhouse then? All right, but let's go ahead and jump in with Fernville. It has been 3 months since we have last been over here. Last we were here, we were losing some ocelots because of the jaguars, and I have no idea how everybody's done. You need to come and peek in on them. It's like having a little aquarium that you sort of put to the side, then you come back and you're trying to see if the fish are still alive. Oh, there's an element of stress to that for sure. All right, uncoiling snakes. Oh my gosh, I would love to add snakes to the rainforest. That would be so cool. All right, over the last 13 weeks, we have earned 429 Terracoins. Very nice. There's a marsh deer. All right, marsh deer doing good. Look at all of that fruit on that papaya. Look, it even tells you how many fruits it has. That is so neat. I wonder who's been eating all of the fruits. Look at that. I didn't know that when the plants actually started fruiting, it would tell you how many there were. All right, so let's see. We're losing moths. We're losing moths, and these cotamundis, the little cotamundi guys. How's your population doing? There's only 2 left, and then some juveniles. Oh my gosh, is that the jaguar? All right, the jaguars are doing pretty good. They've got 513 days until they reproduce. I wonder what they're eating. Let's check in on our ocelots. We're down to 1 ocelot and 0 juveniles. Oh my gosh. Is that because they're being preyed on by the jaguars? Is that a jaguar thing? The capybara are also kind of on the lower end. Oh my goodness, we put in like one of the big predators like this. Yeah, the agoties are not doing so great. The marsh deer are kind of getting on the lower end. I think it's because they're not able to reproduce quickly enough. So this is interesting. We also have some marsh deer up here. Yeah, and they're almost done. And there have been... Oh, look. There's a jaguar. Is it hunting? Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure... I thought we were just about to witness like the vicious cycle of the food chain in action there, because we have a beautiful jaguar right here. It's got a lot of food, a lot of potential food just right here. Oh dear. Oh my, it's very pretty. Holy days, I forgot how pretty it is down here. It's very pretty. Oh dear. Little one, I don't know if that was the best choice for you. It may be all over. Just being realistic. No? No? Okay. Jaguar is just doing something else. Where are you going, buddy? 28-week-old jaguar. All right, so yeah, the jaguar is going off, but we have gotten some really interesting comments, and I agree with you guys that it's all about where you put the territories. So it's about how far away the jaguars have to go. So if you look at how far their territory is, it'll come all the way over here. So really, if we have more populations of marsh deer, like these populations of marsh deer, they seem to be doing better. There's 8 members here. There's only 2 of the agoties. Oh my gosh. But then there's 11 over here. There's 11 of those guys over here because they kind of fall on the very outside range. They're outside of ocelot territory, and they're on the furthest edge of jaguar territory. And I think that has to do with a lot of it. And it makes sense because if I was going to be a little marsh deer, I would want to try to have my population, my family, kind of on the very periphery edges, if not entirely out of jaguar territory. So that's interesting. Also, this is a beautiful tree. Holy days, Kapok tree, you're gorgeous. I love you. And then these guys seem to be doing okay. These guys are kind of doing okay. We're losing ants. We're losing ants everywhere. Oh my gosh. Do I just have like frogs camping out on this anthill? Where are all my ants there? I do have frogs camping out on this anthill. My poor little anthill. All right, well, now I know I need to add in more ants. All right, we'll get started with that. So we can add in, let's put in some orchids just because they're the first thing that showed up. And we'll add in some ants because that was one of my theories is I'm trying to see how many populations of frogs we can have, and if those frog populations would help support ocelot populations. So I also think I'm going to put more marsh deer. I'm going to add another population of marsh deer over here. And we're going to have a whole bunch of them, and they're going to be on this edge. So we may stop putting a lot of the herbivores over here. Man, it's very pretty when we're just zipping around like this. I may stop putting a lot of the herbivores over here because this is so close to the heart of jaguar territory. And I don't know if they'll be able to make it. Like, this little marsh deer is kind of chucking along. He's kind of hungry. Why aren't you eating things? Here, do you need more things to eat? I can give you more things to eat. Are you eating the papaya? Is that why you're over here? Groups of frogs have low populations. Hey. I told you to go ahead and be planted there, Amazon flame tree. Yeah, groups of frogs are having low populations. Oh my gosh, is that a teensy little frog? Look at the teensy little frog. It's so cute. It's sleeping next to the pineapple. Adorable. Oh my gosh, look at everybody. But everybody is having some issues. All right. And then, so in zone 1, and that'll help me narrow it down a little bit, because somebody else commented if you look at like where it says the low populations are and then try to follow it, you can kind of figure out the zones they're in. So I think it's less about replacing all of the ones that start dying off and more about it's kind of like cogs. That's kind of the impression I'm getting with the way their territories work like this in big circles. It's kind of like you need to have the circles pressing against each other at the edges in a certain way and kind of just gently overlapping. Because if you have the like the ant territory, where's a good example? Like, well, these guys are actually doing fine. The millipedes are doing fine, and these moths are doing fine. But basically, if you had like the frog territory right here, oh, that's because there's one frog. That's why everybody's doing fine. Maybe I'll add in more frogs. Jeez. But if you have this guy and then all of these ants like right inside the middle of his territory, I imagine that would make it much easier for him to eat them. But let me put in some more. Let's put in some more frogs then, because I feel like we should have tons and tons of frogs right over here. And if I add tons of frogs like this, just turn this into a frog island zone area, then will that feed my ocelots? Will that take care of them? Will that keep them alive? Who's having trouble now? Yeah, multiple groups of ants are having trouble. But yeah, I'm just gonna like stick a bazillion frogs over here. Oh, and then I'm probably gonna want to like add in more moths and more ants if I did that. Because I'm thinking about frogs and them supplying food for some of the animals. And then I'm like, oh, wait a second. I actually need to make sure I have enough food for the frogs. It's that pyramid thing again. You need to make sure you have tons of food on the bottom of the pyramid for the things that work their way up. All right, and earthworms are apparently having some issues now. Who's eating my earthworms? What on earth? Haha, I didn't mean to say like what on earth for earthworms, but I did. So we went there. All right, let's add some earthworms over here. These guys doing okay? So my ocelots. I'm a little worried about my ocelots. I'm not sure what to do about that. Should I add in another population of ocelots? The jaguars are doing really good. They're very happy. There's plenty of food for them. These capybara aren't so happy. These ferns aren't so happy. I kind of want to put in like an ocelot population way over here. And in fact, let's do that. Let's put an ocelot population way over here. Let's build this area up. And let's see what the ocelots who live far away from the jaguars do. So yeah, we'll put like another ocelot population way out here, like in this corner. And now we need to set this area up to be able to support them. So that's going to mean more goatees, which is going to mean more food. So I need to get moving. Now it's crunch time. Go, go, go. All right, give me more energy. Zoom, zoom. And then we'll have to open up more. We'll have to open up another one of the levels pretty soon. So let's put down the flame trees. Let's put down the ferns. Those are looking good. And then we'll have to see what happens. So I want to see if the jaguars do anything. Like when they have babies, what effect they might have. But for the most part, it feels pretty balanced. I think we've done a pretty good job at making sure there's plenty of food. You want to have your leaf matter. You want to have your fruits. I need more energy. Give me more energy. There we go. And then papaya. That would be good. Oh, and we're going to need our pollinators. We're going to need things to clean this up too. All right, lots and lots of fruits. There you go, little ones. And more energy. Give me all that bioenergy you can possibly have. I'm just going to have like multiple populations. We'll see how many agouti populations does it take to sustain one group of ocelots. That's kind of the experiment we've got going on over here now. All right, more energy, ramp it up. I'm going to have papayas everywhere. Where's a really cool big plant, like a strangler fig? Yeah. Let's put that guy over here. And then maybe some of these cool looking guys. Ooh, no, let's get some more ferns. Let's get some more ferns in Fernville. There we go. And apparently there's fish, so hopefully the ocelots will be able to fish. Hang in there, little one. I know you're hungry. We're going to see how many agoutis like it takes to support one population of ocelots. All right, hang in there, agoutis. This is where things are going to start getting interesting because we're sort of just going hog wild with throwing things down. But sometimes that's the best way to do things. All right, we'll add in more ferns over here. And more ferns over here. Oh, hey. There we go. More ferns there. More ferns here. And now we need to start adding in the earthworms, the mushrooms, everything to remove the poop from all of these little herbivores. Very important to do. Otherwise, all the plants are going to die. So let's put those guys down. Some millipedes down. And then don't forget, if the plants are going to be able to fruit and become fruiting plants, they rely on the pollinators for that. So if we want to make sure, and we'll put some scavengers down too, because it would be a good idea to have some scavengers over here. Everybody supports each other in their own unique way. So we'll get some scavengers in here. And then we'll get another flame fruit tree over here. And then we'll have to see. We'll start letting some populations die out just to see if they weren't meant to be there. And instead of putting a population of ants exactly where I had them before, I'm going to take more care to try to study up, okay, why did that potentially not work? What could I do next time? Because that's the whole point. Sometimes you won't have populations of animals survive in areas that just aren't suited for them. And you need to learn from that instead of just like constantly putting the animals back in. All right, papaya. And some of these guys. And I think that's one of the frustrating things for a lot of people who try to work with conservation now, because the environment, the climate is changing so quickly. You look at like some of these islands that you want to protect because they've been historic, like say seabird islands for hundreds of years, thousands of years, maybe tens of thousands of years, as you date the fossils and realize, hey, these populations of seabirds have been coming for thousands and thousands of years to this island. We need to protect this island. We need to protect this population. And then you try to, and the populations still aren't doing good. And you're like, what's going on? Why is this not working? They've been here for thousands of years. And it's because the climate has shifted so much that area is no longer viable for them. I think that's what makes it so frustrating, because then you do all of this work to protect this island, like off a coast of somewhere, to protect this rare population of seabird that travels the world and only lays its eggs in those spots, like say albatross, for instance. And then climate change comes along and it can just wreck everything that has been built up for all of time. And it's kind of like the ebb and flow. You just have to, the animals that adapt will survive, the animals that don't won't. But hopefully there'll be a balance. All right, there we go. Hopefully there'll be a balance in like realizing just because things are going to survive if they adapt doesn't mean we need to be jerk butts and not take good care of them. All right, Seri will get off that little soapbox and let's put down some pretty little pollinators. Some pretty pollinators. All right, we'll get some blue morphos down. We'll get some moths down. Let them cover a nice big area. And let's see what's going on. Multiple groups of ants have died in Zone 1. Same with the earthworms. So I think that my theory, actually with the ants and the earthworms dying off, they won't be cleaning things up quite as quickly. How are my populations of frogs doing? Interesting. They've started to be preyed on a little bit. How's the ocelot? 526 days before that ocelot has another baby. So I wonder what would eat the frogs. Maybe another group of cotimundis. I think I had a group over here and they died off. So I'm going to try putting another group in way back here and let's see if Zone 1 group manages to survive or not. So how many individuals are going to be added in? Let's check this out. Oh, you guys are so cute. Arrive, my little eaters. Arrive. Go forth. Consume things. Poop. Make sure that you pollinate, like rub against some plants and spread the pollen and help pollinate things. Yeah, there's a lot of these guys when we start out. So we've lost a lot to jaguar predation. Speaking of jaguars, now that we have added in a huge new area, oh, look at the little frogs. They're so cute. Look at them hop along. They're off to destroy my anthills. Oh my goodness. My poor anthills. No wonder. What will eat these guys? I need to add in more frog eaters. I may have unbalanced this. Look, there's even a little baby frog. Oh, why is that so cute? It shouldn't be so cute. Now they're all sleeping. They have stuffed themselves on my ants. And they're coming for my moths now. Oh my gosh. So I think that guy will eat them. What are some other like omnivores or carnivores that might eat them? Capybara is not going to eat them. And we already have one population of ocelots. And I don't know. Insectivore is just going to make things worse if I put in an armadillo. Yeah, the moths and everything are really suffering. All right, let's try putting in an ocelot over here. Let's see what happens if I have an ocelot on this side where he kind of has a little bit of overlap with these guys. I'm curious to see if that's going to be too much, if it's going to be just enough, if we need to add in more herbivores. We're getting like really complex. Oh, there goes one of the marsh deer. The jaguar has consumed its food. And now it's merged with its food. I'm sure that's normal. But yeah, so the jaguar has eaten. How long until the jaguar is actually going to be ready? Oh, that's a lot of food. That's a frog. I'm trying to look at the jaguar for crying out loud. There we go. Any news on when you might want to have some babies? No? Okay, that's fine. All right, we'll turn this way. Look at the jaguar. Very awesome. I would love to add in a cougar, but I don't think I have populations of capybara. Maybe I do. Do I have big enough populations of capybara and marsh deer and frogs to be able to support jaguars? I'm not sure. Like jaguars and cougars? I don't feel like I do. I feel like I need some more marsh deer. But at the same time, what are my current marsh deer? Like, I would love if you could like sort it by like how many things. Oh, a group of agotis is starving. What? What? In zone 3? What? That's not the way of things. All right, who's hungry? Who's hungry? Is it you guys? Is it you guys? What about over here? You guys are okay. You guys are okay. Ah! Why don't you guys have any food? All right, let's put in some papaya. Let's move quick. Stop. Gotta get them fed. All right, come here, little ones. You all need some food. Here's a strangler fig. There's some food there. All right. Now that won't help us whatsoever. So that's a great way of showing that balance to what you need to have in the ecosystem. But there's so many of these guys. So we'll have to see if the plants will be able to keep up with the demand that they're going to place for wanting fed. All right, and all of this fruit. Let's see, anything else? Maybe a few ferns, maybe a flame tree. Let's put down some ferns somewhere if I can sneak these in somehow. Ferns, I really want to add you. This place is called FERNVILLE. I should be able to put in as many ferns as I want. Come on. Come on, ferns. All right, well, I guess that's the closest we're going to get. All right, so there we go. Hopefully we've gotten this group fed. Yeah, their hunger is up. A group of frogs is starving in zone 1. Possibly because they have eaten all of their food. So I think I'm just going to start kind of stepping back and letting some of this play out in the way that it plans to. Is it these guys? Yeah, look, they have in their entire area. There's so many, it's because there's so many babies. Oh my gosh, there's 22 juveniles. I don't even know how to begin fixing that. Other than hopefully having them like eaten by some of the omnivores a little bit more. So I guess I'll put down, I mean, it would suck to lose that many potential like food chain items. I'll put down a whole bunch of ants. That explains why they had babies and those babies weren't eaten by anything. So their population kind of spiraled out of control. Look at them. They're coming for, oh my gosh. Ocelot, help me. Ocelot, I need help. This is really the frog buffet. There's too many frogs. They're gonna all die. Oh, there's just more coming. Oh no, what have we done? But that's just one population of frogs too. Ocelots, eat faster. Will these guys come and eat them? Here, come eat the frogs. I'm adding in more of you. Come eat these frogs. I need help. All right, well, we're going to see if that's going to help or not. Meanwhile, I'm really worried about when these guys decide to reproduce now. All these other frog populations. This ocelot population is still hovering just by one ocelot, which is kind of sad because we had 4 at one time. This ocelot population is still strong at 2. Jaguar population still has 495 days before they reproduce. Some of these you get really long-term goals in. It's kind of fun. All right, then we're going to start filling this area in. Clearly, there's plenty of room that needs to have lots of plants added. We just kind of need to come down the list and make sure that there's plenty of beautiful ferns, plenty of trees, and then start filling it in with the pollinators and the herbivores. And we'll have to see how many populations of agotes it takes to keep one ocelot territory up and going. Because I kind of like how we isolated them at the back. Hopefully they won't be eaten by the jaguars. And now we're going to see how many populations of agotes we need in order to sustain one population of ocelots. So that's the current experiment over here. And actually I'm going to add in, let's see, where'd they go? I'm going to add in a couple more groups maybe. Just because I'm a little worried about them surviving. All right, and then I'm going to put in some more plants. And we'll see how many plants it takes to support that many of the agotes. So we're working our way up the food chain, you guys. And I do think that pretty soon I'm going to start looking into adding in the collared peccary, more capybaras. I would love to have capybara populations along all of the waterways. That would be really fun. More tapirs, and then eventually some cougars. I think we might want to wait and make sure that we have the cougars maybe on the opposite zone. So we have the jaguars in zone 1, so we might put the cougars in zone 4. Ooh, and then global stats. I want to see my global stats. Ooh, oh, I see. And then you can like view the zone maps. Interesting. And then you can see like how many populations you have of everything. Well, that's nifty to just see how they're sort of laid out. All right, the agotes. I feel like we don't have that many agotes anymore. And the ocelots, we've got 2 populations hovering in there. What about you guys? Yeah, this will be interesting. We'll have to see how things do as we watch our little Fernville go. All right, so I'll see you guys next time when we will check in on Not Kansas and Pyrite Canyon, and hopefully be adding in more of the carnivores after building up that big, beautiful base of things for them to eat. So I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.